So today I wanted to talk to you about trials. I know none of us like trials. Trials are not fun. We try to avoid them if at all possible. But the Bible does talk about how we're supposed to handle trials. In James 1:2-4, it says, "Consider it all joy, my brothers, when you face trials of many kinds, because the testing of your faith develops perseverance. And perseverance must finish its work so that we can become mature and complete and lacking nothing." Now, I don't know about you, but that's really hard if you think about it, actually facing trials with joy. But the Lord was walking me through this last summer. He pointed out this verse to me, and something that I saw in this verse that I had never seen before was one specific word. The word was must. It says perseverance must finish its work for us to become mature and complete. That means if you start looking at what must means, it means it's not an option. It's not just one way to handle things. It means for us to become mature and complete believers, one day, not lacking anything, we have to persevere through trials. It's not an option. And when we know that, if we know that the end result of trials is to become mature, to one day become complete, we see that there's a reason for the trials. It helps us to have a different perspective, right? But I don't know about you. I still don't like trials. If I can, I avoid them if at all possible. I'm praying that God will deliver me from them, that I don't want to walk through it. I like my comfortable life. I like easy going. I like it when we don't have problems and everything goes according to my plan, right? But I don't think it's wrong to feel that way or even to ask the Lord to deliver us, because even Jesus, when he was in the Garden of Gethsemane, before he was going to face a horrible trial and torture and ultimately death on a cross, he prayed and asked that the Father would remove this cup from me. So he even was saying, God, if I don't have to go through this, I don't want to. So if he can do that, then I feel like we're allowed to do that as well. But guess what? God didn't remove that cup from him. He knew why he was doing it. He knew the end result, which was to redeem humanity. And so he still walked forward and completed this trial with perseverance. It says in Hebrews 12:2, that for the joy set before him, he endured the cross, scorning its shame, and sat down at the right hand of the Father. So look at that. He didn't want to do it. We see that in the Garden of Gethsemane, his humanness coming out, saying this is going to be so hard. But then he stepped forward and it said he faced it and he endured it with joy because he knew what was the end result, what he was doing it for. And if anything, that is the worst trial of all time. And I'm not talking about just the physical act and the torture, because a lot of people in history have faced horrible deaths, pain and sacrifice. And as horrific as death on a cross would be, what was even worse was that on the cross it says God took on the burden and the weight of all the sins of the world. That means every sin from past, present, and future. And I don't know about you, but I know when I sin, when I make a mistake, just one thing, the shame and the guilt will eat me up so much that I feel like I can't function, right? And that's just one thing I've done in my one single life. And he had the burden of all sin for all time placed on his shoulders. I can't even imagine the torture and the agony that he walked through. But it said he faced it with joy. He endured the cross for our sakes. And so how we are able to face trials with joy is by looking to him as our example. It says in the verse right before that, in Hebrews 12:2, it says, we run the race marked before us with perseverance, fixing our eyes on Jesus, the author and perfecter of our faith, who for the joy set before him endured the cross. So see, he gave us a blueprint. We're not meant to do this alone. If you start looking at all the things around you and all the frustrations and all the things that are just going to crush you, the weight of the trial you're walking through, then you're right, you're not going to be able to do it. But if you fix your eyes on Jesus and you keep a dialogue going on with him and you say, hey, I know at the end of this that I am going to become more mature. Lord, what do you want to teach me through this trial? Lord, what are you showing me here through this? Because it says also in his word that he never leaves you, he never forsakes you, so we know he's with us, right? And it also says that he's working together for good for those who love him and are called according to his purpose. So we know that there's a purpose in it, and ultimately when we know that and we keep our eyes fixed on him, that's how we can get to the place of starting to actually face our trials with joy, because we know there's a purpose in it, we know there's a plan in it, and we know that we are not alone. So even if right now you are actually in a place where you are not in a trial, praise the Lord, enjoy this rest. But in the midst of this time, get in the Word, dig in, build up your relationship with him, because I promise trials are coming. We are promised trouble in this life, right? So you're either in a trial right now or a trial is coming. So if you are in a trial right now, stop right now and take a moment and ask the Lord. Say, God, what are you wanting to show me through this? God, what are you doing in this? What good can I see that you are going to bring out of this situation? Lay down your fears, lay down your wants, lay down even your needs, because he loves you so much. And he wants to bring you to a place ultimately of completion in him. One day you are going to lack nothing. One day we are not going to face any trials. But right now, go to him and ask him, Lord, what can you teach me right now?